Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your WrestleMania 33 predictions video. And well, I don't know if they're really calling this WrestleMania 33. They put 33, but the logo says WrestleMania. We've had 3 WrestleManias already just called WrestleMania. So, here's the funny thing. You had WrestleMania, the first one being called WrestleMania. Then you had WrestleMania 16, WrestleMania 2000 was just referred to as WrestleMania. And now you've had 3 WrestleManias just called WrestleMania now. So, according to WWE, there's been 5 WrestleManias that were just called WrestleMania. That's bullshit right there. What is up with them? They don't want to use the Roman numerals anymore. The Super Bowl does it. What, they don't want to do it anymore? I remember when they made that announcement. It was like after WrestleMania 20, they're like, we're done with Roman numerals. And I think they might have used it a couple of times after that. That's bullshit. Why not use them? Like I said, if this is the Super Bowl of wrestling, use the fucking numbers to differentiate them. You know, it's like ridiculous. When you refer to pay-per-views, they use the years, but WrestleMania used the numbers. I guess it's a minor complaint. We're arguing about numbers, people. But here, let's talk about this card right here. So there's actually a lot of interesting matches on this card. This is one of the first years in a long time where I'm actually saying before, I don't think this is going to be a bad Mania. I think it's actually going to be a pretty entertaining Mania. It's going to be, there's going to be quite a few good matches. There might be some good moments. I'm expecting something from Kurt Angle. Sadly, it probably won't be anything involving in a match, which would be awesome. Like if Angle could interfere in one of the world title matches, like the Orton match, but they're probably just going to have a separate segment, which is not going to feel as special, but this is how they do business. This is why this is going to be a predictions video, not what I want to happen. We could do a separate video on that if you want, but I'm not really like what culture, what if I booked Mania? Listen, I know full well I probably couldn't book a successful wrestling show. I don't think anybody in the YWC could do that. There's very, very few people. You need to know exactly what you're doing. You have to appeal to, to millions and millions of people. And that's very hard to, be able to write a successful show. What culture does making a couple of matches that's not going to really accomplish a whole lot? People like that don't understand why people watched in the Attitude Era. They still don't get it. So, I don't do fantasy booking. Anyway, we'll start off with the pre-show. We got a shitload of matches on the pre-show. Like, holy fucking shit. Why have these matches for titles on the pre-show? It's like an insult. Anyway, Austin Aries will defeat Neville in their Cruiserweight title match. I was thinking to myself, maybe Neville will retain, Aries will go on and maybe win it at a different time. And then I remembered, it's just fucking Cruiserweights. It's not like they're really trying to tell a story or anything like that. So just give it to Aries. They're probably just going to give it to Aries right off the bat. No heat, no hype. They're not going to really go out of their way to tell a big, epic story. Like I said, it's just Cruiserweights. The fans that they're trying to cater to with this 205 Live bullshit show, they try to do a little bit of storytelling and the fans complain right away. Try to tell a story, try to make things more interesting, as I explained in my Raw review, and you're going to get people complaining about telling a story. I mean, you watch a show on TV, it tells a story. Right away fans get offended. You're trying to tell a story. God forbid they try to do something that once brought them success, storytelling, storylines. The fans say, oh, who needs them? people are actually happy with the match after match concept of not telling any story and just having random matches all over the show. People want to see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens wrestle for the 67th time. That's kind of what they're going for here. They just want the wrestling. They don't want any story. They don't want character development. So that's what you're going to have here. So Austin Aries will win. I'm expecting it to be a good match. And I like heel Neville. I'm happy they did that. I just wish that there could have been a bit more story to this. And I wish they would be able to flesh out Neville's character a bit more. But, of course, the fans want to complain. They don't want it. So we can't have a more developed heel Neville. And, we're not allowed to have a more fleshed out babyface Austin Aries because God forbid there's some story behind the match. God damn, I hate the fucking fans. I hate you people ruining it. You moronic random CM Punk chanters out there ruining wrestling for everybody else who wants to enjoy a story-backed match. Unbelievable. Ruining matches like this. So a match like this actually does belong on the pre-show because it's ruined because fans wanted to turn 205 Live into a strict wrestling show. If you want a strict wrestling show, go watch Ring of Honor. Go watch all the other garbage out there that, is void of any story. Alexa Bliss will defend the title against all the SmackDown divas that are available. What? Like, what does that even mean? Okay, I know what it means. They're gonna go for that AJ style match. No, not AJ Styles, AJ Lee, the original AJ. Anyway. We had that battle royal, what was it, at WrestleMania 30? That little battle royal that they had. They're going to have that match, the Vicky Guerrero Invitational, whatever the hell it was called. It's going to be like one of them invitational battle royal matches. It's going to be like everyone is going to be everywhere. It's, that match with AJ was sort of fun. Everyone's in there. It's going to be a big mess. I'm going to guess that, this could go either way, but Bliss will probably just retain the title. They take all the time to make a new title for the Divas, and they're just going to throw it on the fucking pre-show, where no one's going to watch it. Because most people know that the most important stuff is going to be on the actual show. So you're going to have, 25% of the main audience watching the pre-show. It's not a lot of people are going to see it, so they'll probably just give it to Bliss. It's just going to be something for her to do. Then you have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Really, this match is on the pre-show again. They did this last year. They were going to put it on the pre-show, and then they moved it up to the main show. Now it's back on the pre-show again. Is this any way to honor Andre the Giant, as I said in previous years, by putting it on the fucking pre-show? You couldn't at least find a spot for on... We know it's going to be a fairly quick match. Everyone's just going to throw each other out of the ring. There's not going to be any style or substance to it. So just put it on the main show. It's fun to see who's going to win. Who's going to win it and get buried this... everybody who wins this thing... They don't do anything with. They made the first winner, Cesaro, was going to be something. They've done absolutely fucking nothing with him. And don't try to tell me a tag title run with Sheamus is considered glorious. Not even the most jaded internet smart believes that bullshit. Then you had Big Show winning it the following year, the most obvious winner, Big Show winning it. Then they got Baron Corbin, where it took them forever to try to do something with the guy when it was pretty obvious the guy could have been a star in no time. If they only took Russo's idea and had him desecrate the Andre the Giant statue, the guy would have been over in no time. But instead, they dragged their feet, put him in stupid matches with Kalisto, which was like going nowhere. Kind of like half the roster. That's the thing. You know, nobody progresses on this roster. I didn't get 40 minutes doing a Raw review, and I didn't even get to say half the shit I wanted to say that I originally had planned. Half these people don't go anywhere. They stay. I'll just save that for a separate rant. But I expect Braun Strowman to win. They take all this. This is another thing. They take all this time with Braun Strowman. Let's build him up, and he doesn't even have his own match on the card. He's in the match, but he doesn't even have his own match. Put the guy in like a singles match. Let him, you know, face somebody. I don't know, but you know, I would have thought that they would have went with Roman Reigns and Strowman, but they did that already at Fastlane. People keep talking like Strowman's going to be involved in the Taker match. No, he's not. Well, I don't know where people are getting this from. It's just going to be Reigns and Taker. Strowman is just going to be on the fucking pre-show. You know, I don't know if he's going to interfere or something, whatever, but he's on the pre-show, so I hope he wins the Battle Royal. Who else is in this thing who even stands a chance? Like nobody, so just give it to Strowman. Enzo and Cass will defeat Cesaro and Sheamus and Gallows and Anderson. Just as I suspected, they are going to turn this into a ladder match. They just announced it, which will make it exciting. I think this is going to be it. They're going to give it to Enzo and Cass, despite what all the internet morons think. Gallows and Anderson are as boring as shit. These guys lose 1,000 times to New Day. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they suddenly win the tag titles. And, like, this is the reason why they weren't winning the titles. There's nothing. There's no substance to them. They're just basically, like, upgraded Basham Brothers is exactly what it is. They are. I mean, you look at these guys, and they're a bunch of nobodies. You know, they were the Bullet Club. That shit don't mean anything here. That was in Japan. If they wanted to be the Bullet Club, they should have stayed in fucking Japan, because this, you know, I don't know. I thought maybe Gallows by himself, he could be a monster heel, but they're just putting him in some stupid tag team. And they don't even emphasize this guy's size. He's like a massive guy, and they don't even say, you know, like, what a threat Gallows is. I mean, after getting his ass kicked by New Day time and time again, the guy kind of lost all his toughness. You know, if you can get your ass kicked by a guy with a unicorn horn on your head, that doesn't really say a whole lot about your toughness. So I think this is a good time for probably Enzo and Cass to win the tag titles on the big stage. You know, they're going to want to do something. This is the way they have it listed on their website, WWE. It looks like this will be the opener. Usually, the past couple of years, the ladder match has been the opener. It's been the opener since 31, 32. It was the opener, wasn't it? So now they're going to probably make this is going to be the official WrestleMania opener from now on. Since they're not doing Money in the Bank, they're going to have a ladder match probably for now on, some other type of ladder match. I think Corbin is going to defeat Ambrose for the IC title. Maybe that's more wishful thinking on my part. But, you know, at this point, Corbin last year won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. He hasn't really done anything of like any substance up to this point. I think he's going to have to win here, or there's not really a lot of hope for this guy. I mean, he's got to win something. You know, he has to win a title or do something substantial, or it's going to look like a joke. So do what you have to do. But I think they're probably going to give this to Corbin. Like I said, they have to give this guy a title. He didn't win any titles in NXT. He hasn't won anything. It's been a whole year. This is what's so sad about it. A guy like Corbin, a whole fucking year since he wins this Battle Royal, and they keep lying every single year. This is the match that makes careers. Oh, does it? Why is it on the pre-show then? Anyway, he has to do something. This guy Corbin, he's got to look. He looks like a star. He's exactly what McMahon looks for in wrestlers, I think. I mean, I don't know. He has Sami Zayn out there every night. He has him in the main event, so I'm not really sure what they look for anymore. Cosmetically in a wrestler, they used to go for people that look like stars, but they've got Jack Gallagher out there. They've got Sami Zayn out there. They've got Kevin Owens as the world champion at one point. So I'm not really too sure what they look for anymore, but it used to be Corbin. If this was 5 years ago, Corbin probably would have been a world champion by now. But they don't really care, I guess, anymore how their talent looks. Remember, everybody could be a star. Anyone, if you're a bum on the street, go ahead. We'll offer you a contract. It's that easy, folks. Anyone, the guy serving ice cream at Baskin Robbins, there's a star. Everyone's a star. The guy waiting for the bus down the block, there's a star there. There's a star everywhere. It used to be that, these guys were larger than life. They were Hollywood celebrities. They were the Michael Jordans and Patrick Ewings of wrestling. They used to be larger than life. You couldn't find a guy like this in any walk of life. You used to be like, wow, take a look at The Rock. Take a look at Stone Cold. Take a look at Hulk Hogan. Now, these are guys that you didn't see in everyday life. Now, like I said, now your wrestlers out, they look like your gardener. They look like the guy who's trimming your hedges. There you go. What a great state of wrestling, right? When just anyone can be a star. How open-ended is it? What a fucking joke. So you've got Kevin Owens and Jericho for the U.S. title. I'm going to guess here that I think Owens is obviously going to win this one. I would think, considering that Owens just lost to Goldberg, you're probably going to have to give the guy a win, give him a title. I can't see him losing 2 pay-per-views in a row, especially when they gave all these months and months of Owens being the champion and him being unstoppable. I mean, or whatever. It's an interest. This is the thing also. This is supposed to be like a big grudge match feud, and I'm not even pumped up for it. This is the guy who cost Owens the championship. Owens should have beat the living hell out of Jericho for costing him his title. Instead, they're just disagreeing. They're a little bit annoyed. Jericho is showing clips of Kevin Owens in a Jericho t-shirt. He cost you the world title, and you're like, oh, I admit I was a fan at one point. It's very laid back, If somebody, cost you your lifetime dream of being a champion, would you just respond calmly? I don't understand. This is supposed to be the big heel, Kevin Owens, and he seems to be taking his world title loss quite well, I think. A little too well. But I expect him to win the U.S. belt. It's like such a downgrade for Owens. I mean, I don't think they should have given this guy the world title. I mean, don't get me wrong. Owens has talent. The guy knows how to wrestle. And for a guy that looks the way Owens does, like I said, he does extremely well in the ring. But they should have made this guy go work out first or something before giving him the belt. I mean, the guy looks like he eats like 20 pounds of ribs before he comes out there. I mean, holy Moses. like they're really. I mean, I know that they have a wellness policy. Wellness. He doesn't look that well. He looks morbidly obese, and really, technically, I think that he is. I don't even think he's overweight. He's morbidly obese. How is that? That shows that, okay, you could be a talent if you're in this shape. I mean, they've had a lot of wrestlers that have been overweight, like Viscera and shit, but they didn't make them world champions. Anyway, expect him to win the U.S. title, but what a downgrade. He's going to win the U.S. title after he was a world champion. I guess they got to give him something for, thanking him for jobbing to Goldberg. Bayley will defeat Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax. I think they're going to have to give it to Bayley. Like I said, I don't know why they're putting so much stock in. They don't even like her. Like I said, the fans complained that they wanted, why is Bayley not on the main roster? Why is she not there? You finally get Bayley. You finally get Bayley as your champion, and you're booing her. You're chanting different shit during her promos. These are the wrestling fans that they're trying to build this company around right now, or more specifically than Raw. Like I said, SmackDown does a little bit better when it comes to their booking and their creative. Not much, but better. And, this is what you get. You're going to get what the fans want, but then they're just going to totally disrespect it. And WWE is not going to even know what to do. It's pretty sad, but anyway, look for Bayley to win with her stupid ponytail and goofy personality. AJ Styles will defeat Shane McMahon. I'm going to expect there's going to be, one big high-risk move with AJ and Shane. I have no idea what it's going to be. I expect Shane McMahon to probably jump off of something again, or take a really big bump. I'm expecting this to be a good match. I don't know why everybody has like a problem with this match. I think it's probably going to be a pretty athletic match. It's probably going to have a bit of a hardcore element to it. I don't know if it's I don't think it's a street fight. I think it's just a normal match, but expect them to do something. I mean, Shane is the authority figure, so I guess they're going to bend the rules a little bit in this match. I expect to see some weapons in it, so, this will probably be a pretty good match. Like I said, you expect Shane to do something completely nuts and put his body on the line. I think that's almost a given. But AJ will beat him. You probably just look for him to beat him with, a Styles Clash on a chair or something. Maybe a top rope Styles Clash. Seth Rollins will defeat Triple H in the non-sanctioned match. I could tell where they're going with this. Obviously, Seth couldn't land the pedigree on Triple H, so they're waiting for Mania. Seth will hit the pedigree, and he'll get the win on Triple H. It would be interesting if Triple H could win, especially when he's, jobbed out so many times, but, I think they're going to have to give it to Rollins, or else unless the fans are going to rebel, oh, you're burying Rollins, but, then again, I mean, really, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for Triple H to win. He's an extreme part-timer. Might as well just give it to Rollins. You got Cena and Nikki Bella defeating Miz and Maurice. Are they really going to put this match that far up on the card? I mean, it is a Cena match. Like I said, I am amazed that they are actually making this a mixed tag match. I cannot believe that, they're just putting Cena in a tag match. He was just a world champion, a month ago, 2 months ago. And they're already going to relegate this man to tag match status at Mania. I was, completely blown away. I'm like, what? I mean, it'll probably be an entertaining match. They'll probably, do a couple little things in there that, might be entertaining, but it's a little bit weird that they're going back to this after WrestleMania 27 was a disaster for them, and it wasn't a very good main event, but, whatever. I like The Miz, he's entertaining, but I don't know, I thought maybe if they just put Cena and Miz in a better match, I think it's kind of obvious, though, that Cena and Nikki are going to win. That's the thing that's a little bit, peculiar about this match. It's such an obvious, a very, very obvious finish to this match, You're probably going to see Nikki go over Maurice. It's going to probably lead to more Cena and Miz in the feud. The fact that they're just going back to this is a bit odd. That they're having the segments on SmackDown. I watched them; they were entertaining with Miz and Maurice. I wasn't exactly going to crack a rib laughing at this stuff, but it was entertaining for what it was. They tried. Then you have Taker and Reigns. Now, people are saying that Reigns will go over Taker. No, he won't. I don't think that you guys have to worry about that. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a guy like Reigns go over Taker. In fact, I kind of want it to happen so the fans lose their fucking, so the stupid CM Punk chanting fans lose their minds. That would, make me extremely happy inside to see the fans, no, you just, McMahon's obsessed with Reigns, it's enough already. You make, Reigns is the worst thing ever. The guy puts on a better show than half the people at Fastlane. I'm bored out of my mind with these Gallows and Anderson matches who you people love. And meanwhile, you've got Reigns putting on a good match with a guy like Braun Strowman. And, and somehow he doesn't get credit. But Taker will win. Reigns will hit the spear. He's going to look surprised. Taker will put him down. Goldberg and Lesnar. There's a lot of people saying that they think Goldberg is going to remain undefeated. I think it's a little bit more obvious that it's going to be Lesnar winning here. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. They've had Lesnar look like a total bitch. There's no way that they're going to let him win. The way how I think it's going to happen is how I said in my Raw review. I think we're going to have Lesnar just beating Goldberg the same way Goldberg beat him at Survivor Series. It's going to be like a 30-second match. Expect, Goldberg to run at him with the spear and Brock picking him up for the F5, and that's it. He's probably going to just win with an F5, and that's going to be it. I don't think we're going to see a 5-10 minute match. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think that they're going to have a full-fledged match if they haven't had one already. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll be surprised. But after having Lesnar get bitched out at Survivor Series, get thrown out super easy at the Rumble, then you had Lesnar looking like a total goofball on Raw with a half-ass spear. If they don't have Lesnar win here, he's going to be a fucking joke for the rest of his career. I mean, they might as well get rid of him at that point because it's like a joke. Lesnar's probably the only guy who still gets to have a tough reputation, for actually being a tough guy that actually wins. So you're telling me that they're gonna have him lose? I don't think that's happening. It's a little bit naive to think that Goldberg is just gonna keep plowing through Lesnar. It's not gonna happen. Obviously, if people know how wrestling works with feuds, you're gonna probably have people trading wins at some point. Unless you're new to this shit, you should know that that's kind of how it works. It would be a little bit ridiculous if Goldberg just plowed through Lesnar again. Do I want that to happen? Do I want Lesnar to beat him? I would actually like to see the guys wrestle in a 10-minute match so we can maybe have the match we thought we were going to have at WrestleMania 20. The thing is, what I complain about is that why the fuck, if they were going to have this match, did they wait this many years? Do they realize that they are doing a match from 13 years ago? 13 years ago, over a decade, almost a decade and a half. And they are going to go with this match. I think they're going to put this match on last, unless it's going to be a minute match. This is also why I'm a bit surprised, because I see on their website they're putting Orton and Wyatt at the top of the card. So then I think I'm actually probably right, because there's no way they could go off the air with Goldberg winning with Lesnar winning a 30-second match. But look, okay, so we'll move on to this. Orton will defeat Bray Wyatt. It's going to happen. You're going to see Orton as champion again, and I am not opposed to this at all. Actually, get ready, because people will probably flame my ass for saying this, but I want to see it happen. You know, I have knocked Orton in the past, but I'm going to say this right now. Compared to all the other goofballs that I see on the roster, the Sami Zayns, the Kevin Owens, I've gone back and I've watched older pay-per-views more recently to have more retro reviews coming up. I see more of a star in Orton than I did in the past, because I was like, holy shit, Orton was a star. I take a look at Orton and I see that he looks like a celebrity. I take a look at Sami Zayn, I look at Finn Balor. The fact that Finn Balor is a world champion, that they consider Balor to be in the same league as a guy that looks like Randy Orton, is a fucking joke. I mean, how can you have a guy that looks like Here we go. Can you honestly say with a straight face that Balor looks more like a champion than Orton, or that he looks about just the same as Orton? You couldn't get it done. And if you were going to really seriously say that in a serious discussion, I believe that you deserve to get laughed at. Laughed right out of fucking town. I mean, you know, okay, so you're going to say Wyatt, and now, Brad, don't you like Wyatt? I do, but the fact that Bray Wyatt is champion now is almost an insult and a slap in the face. It really is. To everybody who wanted to see Bray Wyatt do well in this company and see him grow, because, let's face it, creative gave him a good character. They started him off in NXT with a great character. You know, he was actually getting a lot of heat behind him. One of the few stars that actually had any heat, had any character, had any type of charisma. And what did they do? They blew it all. They blew every last bit of it out. And, you know, it was tiresome. There were many points where I said that you could have had Bray Wyatt win the championship. I said, hey, now that Daniel Bryan is injured and he's got to give up the championship, perfect opportunity to give it to Bray. I said, give it to Bray, give it to him. And you know what they did? I think, didn't they, like, not even put him in the match or something? Anyway, Bray Wyatt could have been champion on a number of occasions. And they failed to do it. Then all of a sudden, like 3 years after, you know, when they were going to originally make this guy into a big star, they decided, let's just throw the belt on him randomly. So at this point, yeah, Bray Wyatt, make him the transitional champion. And it's kind of obvious you're going to have Orton fighting back against Bray Wyatt. You're going to want to have Orton free himself completely from the Wyatt family, you know, and you're going to want to see him finally get that RKO on Bray Wyatt. And that's how they're going to want to end Mania. So yes, it's not new. It's, you know, nothing that's going to lead to a new generation, but Orton does deserve to win here, because it's kind of what makes the most sense. to have Wyatt as champion, this is doing absolutely nothing. In fact, it's actually very boring having him as champion. It could be great. It could have been a great moment for him to win the belt. But I did my Elimination Chamber, match review of Bray Wyatt winning the title. Like I said, it was a little bit too little, too late. Am I really supposed to get, super pumped for him winning the belt after it's like 3 years after his initial big push? They shit all over this guy, and then you're supposed to get excited for it. It's not the way how it works. You had us hanging around for years trying to root for this guy, try to get behind him. You want us to buy all these T-shirts of him and stuff. It's not the way how it works. It's not the way how it works at all. You fuck up with the guy, and you're not going to have people supporting him till the end of time. So there you go. So have Orton win the belt. I know he's going to win it, and he deserves to win it. And everyone could cry the night after Mania, and I'll be laughing at them, because that's the thing. It was like I said, I did a separate video. Fans deserve to get Cena and Orton at Mania, because at least those are two stars that people actually want to watch, and you can make all your little arguments of who watched what segment more on particular Raws. But let's be quite obvious. When you had Orton and Cena at the top, the ratings weren't great, but at least they had a strong 3.0. Then when they started putting all these other moronic other talents in there, the ratings went kaput. Finn Balor, like I said, you would think that after the ratings dropped below a 2.0, they were like at 1.7 at one point, right? With him as champion. And people wanted to defend it, and they still wanted to knock guys like Cena. It's like, do people still buy that bullshit? Anyway, I could rant all day about this, but anyway, it's there you go. There's your WrestleMania predictions. I think it's gonna be a pretty decent show overall, but there's gonna be a couple of things obviously that we're not gonna like, and things that probably could have been done a lot better, but it's almost silly to complain about it, because like I said, we could complain all day about this company because it's fucked beyond belief. But anyway, motherfuckers, until next time.